Hello everybody, welcome back to the internet's best reactions. Today we are talking about the American Grand Prix. It was set up beautifully from qualifying, wasn't it? The top four separated by 1/10 of a second. Hamilton in P5 trying to clinch his 6th driver's title. Can he do it? Well, obviously he could, because he only had to score 4 points in a Mercedes. That's pretty much impossible to not achieve. So he did. We'll get onto that in a bit. But let's get into your reactions. Right, let's kick off the hashtag WTF1 moments from the COTA USA GP Austin, Texas Grand Prix of Americas. At B. Severfi, Vettel in the first lap of COTA. What on earth happened to that Ferrari? He's on the front row of the grid. Tommy from the podcast, he predicted that Vettel was going to win, and I was very afraid that Tommy was going to get a point because Vettel looked pretty decent, as did both the Ferraris in qualifying. However, absolutely nowhere, especially Vettel, just understeering all over the shop. Could not turn left or right. When you go on and on board with him, if you haven't seen it, I think there was a few in the live feed, but it's just washing out. And Hamilton produced an absolutely scintillating move just after the S's. It was brilliant. You don't see an overtake there. I know Vettel was struggling. And also Lando a little bit later on, but we'll get onto that. At Hi Lucy here, me, when I saw Lando overtake a Ferrari, I got legit tingles. What a move. Obviously, Vettel did look up into that second part of the left-hander, but Lando steaming up the inside, almost like an F1 game line that was. I mean, there are so many lines into those sequence of 2 or 3 corners into that double left-hander. It's actually a pretty awesome piece of track because it's so wide. You can go up the inside, you can stay in the middle, or go all the way around the outside. And that's the part of the track I really do like, and I feel like it's underrated on the Formula 1 calendar. But yeah, Lando, what a move. Vettel's race went from bad to absolutely horrific as his rear suspension gave way through turn 9, I believe it was. At Ben Slade, nobody, literally no one, Vettel. Sad to see, because Vettel had a great qualifying, but Ferrari, I think, wouldn't have been anywhere near the front anyway, unless maybe Vettel would have done a better job than Leclerc did. But either way, his rear suspension went, he looked like Lightning McQueen, and it was very meme-worthy, but also very sad. Now, something that has been really annoying me the last few races, and you would have seen if you follow me on social media, is the AWS Insights. What are they doing with those? It is like putting numbers in a lottery machine and going, well, these are Verstappen's tyres. At Marcellus Harris, nobody, the tyre dead graphic guy. Now, I don't want to have a go at this tyre dead graphic guy as much as this guy does, but also, why are you posting this? There's clearly absolutely no telemetry involved in this. There is no analysis, there's no insights. It is purely a guess whether they've spoken to Pirelli or they genuinely are putting it into Google in a random number generator. As you can see, getting a little bit hyped up, a little bit frustrated. There's another tweet as well, at Rob Ebatson. Reason why the tyre graphic is awful. Somehow, and I noticed this as well, a medium tyre after 21 laps in is in much better condition than the hard tyre after 17 laps. Not just marginally as well. Hamilton, 70s on the front, 60s on the rear, and that was after how many laps? That was after 21 laps on the mediums. 17 laps on the hards, Verstappen's on 20% all round. Are you having a bubble? I mean, whatever these are, they need to be scrapped, directly put into the bin, because they bring nothing to Formula 1. I like the concept, do not get me wrong. I like the fact that they're going, we want to give the viewer, more information, more data, more analysis. But my God, stop guessing. Either plug something into the tyres to let us know, or don't tell us at all, okay? Or put predictions, AWS predictions. One of the battles on track that was pretty awesome to see was Daniel Ricciardo versus Lando Norris. I enjoyed the fact that you had Danny Ric coming at Lando right at the beginning and he got past and up into I think it was 5 at the time. And then Lando coming back on the hard tyres, which was great to see that McLaren had some pace on the hard tyres this weekend. At Matt Amos, Avocado, although Matt, I'm very disappointed in your spelling of avocado, and Milk battling on track. This is the F1 I want to see. I love those two, the fact that they have such banter in the F1 press conferences, but then battling very hard on track. And I think Lando, had he had one more lap, would have caught Ricciardo and probably passed him on those fresh tyres. The American Grand Prix really wasn't that much of a thriller, was it? You had the Hamilton versus Bottas, different strategies, Hamilton on a 1-stop, Bottas on a 2. Was that going to come towards sort of a fight towards the end of the race? Maybe, but apart from that, there was a few midfield battles, but nothing particularly exciting. But at Call Me Dory says Hamilton versus Bottas, spicy. I love that meme so much, so I thought I would include it. I don't think it got to the spice levels. I think it's more about a medium in a Nando's scale, if I'm honest. It didn't really get any higher than that. At the end, obviously, Hamilton pushing Bottas wide a little bit. That's why I think it's medium sauce. Any more side-by-side action, it may have got into the hot range. But what it was, it kind of came. I was actually surprised that Hamilton didn't, do that a few more times, although he did get a terrible exit onto the long straight, so he kind of just gave it up and didn't want to crash into Bottas. But not spicy, medium Nando's. At the _Possisk has summed up Ferrari beautifully, although I believe it's actually from Circus _F1 Comics, so we'll give them the credit. Ferrari in every race. I just love the comic sort of style of these sort of things, these random scenarios. It's brilliant. So yeah, have a read of that. That's top quality content. Okay, we're going to dive into top 5 F1 moments that I've seen anywhere on social media. This one was from a journalist, Luke Smith F1. This was quite an interesting little insight into Verstappen's thinking. Verstappen asked in the pen after the race if it was strange that the Ferraris could not fight in the opening stages. Verstappen, oh, that's not strange. Reporter, why? Verstappen, well, why do you think? You can fill it in yourself. There was that whole debacle of the Ferrari engine, and there was a lot of insights as to how they were doing it. And all of a sudden, they had no pace in the race. So you make your mind up, and I'll make mine. I do love this account as well, at @Ted_Kravitz, a fake Ted Kravitz account, I must add. Technical analysis. 4 tyres on the ground are better than 3. Oh, I love Ted so much. F1 would not be the same without him, but he does come out with some brilliant stuff. This isn't Ted, by the way. This is a fake Ted pretending to be Ted, if you see what I mean. Couple of posts from Reddit now. This one's from Gorkum Goozle 32. Vettel paying tribute to Lightning McQueen. He wasn't speed though, was he, this weekend? Ferrari fans, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to endure the American Grand Prix after, was it 7 front rows in a row or 6 poles in a row, and amazing form since the summer break, to then be 50 seconds off the lead come the end with Charles Leclerc. I'm sorry that you had to endure that. Another one from Reddit, Vag Pal, Bottas win, Hamilton World Drivers' Championship. I think Verstappen had it the last 2 years at Mexico, where Hamilton's wrapped up the championship, but Verstappen won. Bottas this year, Bottas, so what do you think of the win? I don't care. Hamilton, 6 drivers' titles. Tell us about that. It was actually quite sad to see Bottas being interviewed by Martin Brundle. They were talking about the season, and you could see it was really quite sad to see another season slip away. Bottas just needs to be more consistent over the course of a season, because Hamilton has not been at his best this season. I don't think anyway. What do you think? Let us know in the comment section below. But yeah, Bottas, another season gone. Will he challenge in 2020? I can't see it. And one from Instagram for this top 5 F1 posts, funny.f1_. Fernando Alonso right now. That was from Lando Norris Q1. P1, had to include it. What a moment that was. Very disappointed with Crofty for not losing his mind at all when Norris went P1 in Q1. It wasn't even wet. That was actually awesome. And Crofty also made a lot of mistakes at lap 1. Did anyone notice that? I think he made 3 or 4 mistakes in one lap about either positions, where they were on the track. Yeah, not great. Okay, Social Media Team Championship time now, and what a barnstorming, stonking, sensational, scintillating Social Media Team Championship we have had this weekend for the American Grand Prix. Let's dive into the top 3 places. In 3rd position, we have Sport Pacer Racing Formula 1 team with, this was when actually they put out a graphic, then put up another graphic saying fixed it after Danny Kvyat did another dive bomb and blew up Perez. And just want to add on that one, sorry Sport Pacer Racing Formula 1 team, but I want to talk about this very quickly. Danny Kvyat, what is he doing? He absolutely lost his mind in the interview. When he watched the incident, he has just dived up the inside with absolutely no care for the fact Perez has to stay on the track somewhere. And he said Perez closed the door. What door was Perez closing? I'm pretty sure Kvyat was closing the door on him, if anything, so I think the penalty was well deserved. But anyway, back to this. Sport Pacer Racing Formula 1 team, 1 point. In 2nd place, we have Haas F1 team. The perfect sign doesn't exist. What a sign that is. If you haven't seen it, where have you been on social media this weekend? My heart will grow, John. That is just sensational. I love it. And it's actually both, there's 2 fan submissions which teams have turned into their own social media posts, which have got into Social Media Team Championship. Amazing. And you're probably thinking, why have I just said that? Well, that's because in first place, and I owe them 3 points from last weekend because they put a tweet out just after we'd filmed, is Mercedes-AMG F1 with r/Formula Dank. What a sign that is. I cannot believe that Mercedes have included that in their social media. Oh, that Rosberg picture makes me so happy, and the fact a fan has created that with a very... I don't even know what picture that is of Bottas and Hamilton dabbing. Sensational. That is the most worthy 3 points I've ever given out. That's 1 point for Spot Pacer Racing Formula 1 team. That's 2 points for Haas F1 team and 3 points for Mercedes-AMG F1. Sorry for missing you out last week, but just do your submissions earlier, okay?
And now it's time for Race Rundown with your host, Matthew Gallagher.
Race rundown time, let's do this. Let's see if we can smash it out in one attempt. Uno. Un. Eins. Let's do this. The race finishers for the American Grand Prix were Bottas, Hamilton, Verstappen. That went really well. Didn't get past third place. Bottas, Hamilton, Verstappen. Wow. Bottas, Hamilton, Verstappen, Leclerc, Albon, Ricciardo, Norris, Sainz, Hülkenberg, Neidling, should be God. Bottas, Hamilton, Vettel. Why do I keep saying Vettel? Vettel did not finish third. He did not finish third. He did not finish third. Bottas, Hamilton, Verstappen, Leclerc, Albon, Ricciardo, Norris, Sainz, Hülkenberg, Perez, Raikkonen, Kvyat, Stroll, Giovinazzi, Grosjean, Gasly. Gasly! Bottas, Hamilton, Verstappen, Leclerc, Albon, Ricciardo, Norris, Sainz, Hülkenberg, Perez, Raikkonen, Kvyat, Stroll, Giovinazzi, Grosjean, Gasly, Russell, Magnussen. Yes, yes, yes. And the two non-finishers were Vettel. 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 Right, that is it. Thank you so much for watching the internet's best reactions to the American Grand Prix. The race wasn't great, but you guys were great. Your submissions, as always, were top-notch, and without you, this series would not exist, so thank you so much. Make sure you get involved next time using the hashtag WTF1 on social media for the Brazilian Grand Prix. What a banger that will be around Interlagos. I cannot wait. That race, with a little bit of changeable conditions, should be a spicy one. We'll see you next time. Oh baby, you're all that I want when you're lying here.